Good morning, everyone. What is going on? My phone has exploded. Ah, good. Excellent. It's art time with Whack. We need music. We don't have music. We need music, 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 music. There we go. Music. I got like this one stray hair. There you go. Coffee just kicked in. All right. I'll switch over to the drawing monitor. We got a couple of things to do here. We got to fix this scene and get it ready to go. Where the good guys move in and no, 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 no. Scene cube. Move forward like so. So, because of the nature of the way that um, the nature of the beast when it comes to Daz Studio, it's designed to be focusing on a human-sized thing. This bay is scaled correctly, so what I'm doing is making a scene cube, which allows me to sort of pan around the cube like this, because otherwise scrolling in will take forever. So instead I'm using this scene cube, which is transparent, but enough that you can see into what's going on here and I can focus on it. But really we're focusing on this MPV, which is right here. It's that. There we go. Let's see if that looks good. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the destroyer and stuff like that, so I'm going to wing it on that and just go in here and hand draw. Once we save this, we're going to hand draw the rest of the Polaris around this too, so that way that we don't have to spend a whole lot of time modeling. At this point, it's not worth it. We don't need the Polaris for a long time. And we certainly don't need to spend all of today modeling the Polaris. How did he end up doing that? So I'm going to have to select the spot for this. And this becomes page 20, frame 1. So let me say and then we come in here. Well, I'll work on the Polaris later. I'm just not going to work on it right now. because we will need to deal with it at some point. Yeah, that's the thing that we were just talking about last night, was that it's probably time for Kan and I to take a little bit of a break at some point here. But I did actually get a message back from Bob. He said it would be fine. He is more than willing to try to get stuff rolling out before Wicked West, so it shouldn't be an issue. And all I need to do is send him the proofs. However, we've got to finish the proofs, so that's us. That's what we're doing today, is finishing this page so that we can do it. So that should be a no problem sort of situation. And that's Bob Conway at Avanti Printers, who's always been so wonderful to all of us here locally in Denver, because he always works with the local community quite a bit. And so very good at kind of helping all of us get these things through and into stuff like that. So we should be there by the end of the week. I only have these 2 pages really to do. Although we do need to think about a cover for this. That's one of the things that's going to have to be one of our days. Have to be spent doing the cover. Which is something that we'll have to kind of ponder and think about, because like there are things to ponder and think about when it comes to this stuff. Like, for example, do we do we match the other comic, or are we going to have a different sort of methodology for the omake? So when they're omake, they have a different thought process. We're gonna have to kind of have a more thinky process thing going on here. I'm going to kind of ponder the idea of whether the covers are going to be in pattern or not, and that's going to be something to kind of ponder. And this was up on the wall, wasn't it? Well, that's what I was thinking too. But I was actually that's what I was kind of pondering, was like, okay, so momentary ghosts will be like the silhouette with a thing, right? Like we can do issue 2, which would have, like, let's say the silhouette with, let's say, the princess, right? The MPV. And then like issue 3 could be something else, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the idea though is that I was thinking the silhouettes should be in the 3 colors of the uniforms. So the first one's in that blue, command blue. The second one could be in, mission specialist green. And then the third one could be in non-line officer purple. You know what I mean? Like, so in the 3 colors of the main uniforms. And it should be like the 3 main characters. So the only problem is that we end up with that kind of weirdness that kind of goes on with that. Like both Chang and Bennett wear blue. So if it's the main characters, it should be blue, blue, green. But it isn't, because that would be weird and stuff. So it's the stuff that's what I'm pondering here. I'm like, well, do we do it that way? How do we do this? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was kind of thinking that maybe with them, we'd have like 2 characters on the cover or something, almost like the internal splashes. Yep, that's what I thought you'd do. Hey, honey. Oh, man. I am beat. It has been a long week for me. I'm going to do this. That'll make it a whole lot easier. And I'll do that. And I'll do that. It won't be any problem anymore. Because there should be more of a ship above there. You just can't see it. Because this bay is hanging out into space like this. What's going on in your world, my friend? One word, pain, huh? Yeah, I'm feeling that one today. Definitely feeling old for me. I know you're not old, so you can't be feeling old, so. But I feel old. One is torturing customers. I think Hone might argue that the customers are torturing them. There we go. Making it obvious that we're looking at this MPV that's entering into the bay. We're now calling out. Not intentional, my friend. Not intentional. Tonal correction. Let's take the saturation out. There we go. You hearing music? Hello, Minties. Welcome to Quack. It's an artist collective where we all get together and do artwork together. It's based off of the concept of body doubling, which is what ADDers need sometimes to get work done. Clean up this line here. Doing well. How are you this morning? It is snowing here in Denver, although it is not snowing with any like gusto. But we have a little bit of snow out there. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. It's not bad. Oh, and I see blue skies, so. Just woke up. I understand that one too. I cannot find my. There it is. Like, I can't find the cursor. Where'd the cursor go? Lost my cursor. Cursing because I lost my cursor. There. That's a Unity destroyer in the bay. And so, I'm trying to get her cleaned up a little bit though, because the 3D model's a little weak. we need to go through, and that's another one of the things that we're going to have to work on at some point down the road, is this dear Unity destroyer needs to be cleaned up because she's a little janky. I feel like these windows could be not so weird. Like I said, for right now, we'll just clean it up so it looks nice in the comic and then let it roll. And then later I'll clean up these guys. Maybe over the next week, we're going to take a break from all this work because all of these will be sent off to the printer and they'll be ready to print and things like that. We won't have to worry about it anymore. And so both Kayan and I are going to take a break from the comics for a bit, and that might be a perfect time for me to go through and do house cleaning and maintenance. There's a couple of little things we need to do to the star maps, and it's been funny because that's been an ongoing joke between... No, see you in a minute, One. It's been an ongoing joke between Brent and I because I spent too much time during world building making the star maps. But there's a couple of legitimate little house cleaning things that need to be fixed on those star maps. So that'll be during this break. We'll be fixing that, getting a couple of little things up online. And yeah, we're just kind of going through and kind of fixing some of the problems that'll be in here because we got a couple of little problems. Don't like the fact that this front window section right here is part of that's the pilot house for this destroyer, right? Or not watch it all. So the pilot house up there that's where the crew, or where the pilot sits in there, and that's supposed to be much more clean, and it's not. It's kind of messy up there, so we'll have to go up there and kind of clean up. I think the model needs to be cleaned up in that front part too, which that's going to be rough. And really, actually, what I want to do, Brent, with the star maps is I want to get that 3D version of the star map done that I've been meaning to do for a long time. I just take the map into Daz Studio and put the little stars down and everything like that to indicate where everything is. And I think that'd be fun because then you could do a 3D version of the star maps and we'd be able to get a good picture of where all the stars are relative to one another. So I'd like to do that. All right. Looks good. Looks solid. Let's go ahead and zoom in on our poor little unsuspecting MPV. Let's outline him too so that he stands out a little bit more. Because we need to make sure you can see what's going on here. Because here are our heroes returning to or approaching their ship. And even if they are a tiny thing, we want to be able to see them. That didn't help a whole lot, but it helped a little. And I also feel like the bottom is boring. You know what I mean? Like it's not very exciting. Bottom of the alignment zone here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm having a hard time. The infamous gray blob of Make it look like it's got at least paneling on there. All right. So that's Bay 44 Sierra hanging out in the middle of Nowheresville. Actually, I feel like there should be a thing down here, just a little bit more. Like down like this way. Just to indicate there's some other piece of spacecraft there. You're so close to the Polaris at this point in time that it's just an amorphous blob and difficult to comprehend where things are, you know? All right, but I feel like that's good. We'll save that. We won't need starfields anymore because the next picture is them landing. And they'll be landing near our beloved spacecraft. So we'll flip around here. We'll move this to here. We'll move our standard guy right through here. We've got a work bee in here. Let's put a work bee in where it needs to be. Give kind of an idea if the work bees are doing stuff. We don't really need that. Scene cube. And so now we're here. We'll take the scene cube and bring it down 1%, or one order of magnitude. And then I'll put us closer, because now the scene cube is now maybe just a little too small. Have to see. Yeah, she might be a little too small now. The scene cube is too small. There we go. Sadly, no one got to meet Jesus. Okay. This one is marked wrong. I think we're close to the MPV here. And why are you missing? The Kittiwake's missing a maser port. Dang it. Okay, duplicate the maser port. But hey, coffee. Right? I like coffee. There we go. So we've got a maser port now, which weirdly is the wrong size. That's strange. Like, look how it's not aligning with the spacecraft. Why is it not aligning with the spacecraft? I feel like I'm doing something wrong here, guys. I feel like something bad's about to happen. No. Just that particular block on the back is slightly wonky. That's strange. It's very, very strange. Doesn't make any sense, but you know what? That's all right. We'll make this mazer port fit and it'll be fine. Not sure why it's off like this, but it is, and that's okay. Right? Okay, you go into the hull, under the seaboard. You're just getting killed over there by your phone. Hone. It keeps like checking things and stuff, so. All right. All right, the after mazer port is in. That's important. All right, we'll come up on, yeah, because like this is not aligned either. That's weird. This whole backbone thing is off. Looks like. Where's that mazer port 3? Oh, that's from the MPV. There. That way when we deal with this later, we can come back and figure out what to do with that, because I'm not messing with it. My scene cube is there. So let's bring the scene cube up and over. This way and down. Sort of not. I want to get the scene where it's like not quite the nature. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it actually, the MPV is putting down right next to the kitty wake. We can just put it here. Because that would be kind of cool to have, you know, a scene where it's from the ground here and it's putting down really close to here. It's also interesting that it's the correct scale. Come on. No, don't do that. There we go. Make them walk. This is Navy, man. These aren't the Marines. This is Navy. They have to have door-to-door service. Okay, I'm easily entertained. That's what I am. That's Air Force. I know. It's Air Force. All right. Let's put the legs out. Because as we know, these guys land on their landing legs. That's the whole point. The other thing we should do when we're on, make them float. Yeah. Man. One of the other things we will do while we're on break is make this into a figure. Because once we make this into a figure, these can be poses. And I don't have to manually do these anymore. There we go. We're going to need to change those numbers. See you later. Don't we have a different surface map for her? I thought we did. Browse. In here, 510, so that's you. It's the wrong one. Transport command. There we go. 214 transport command. And I say that's a different critter. Now you're way off base there, dude. The landing pod is behind you quite a bit. Here we go. This is where I need the scene cube. So hard to see. There we go. Put you there. And then we can decide whether we should probably center you. Right there. All right. We'll take our MPV and move her in so that she's kind of landing in on this. And you get them this big, it's like, well, that's a huge thing. Everything's big. Okay, and then we'll center on the scene cube. Do that. Now let's think about this. Going into there, then it should be a landing of some sort. Then the next panel is this is our stop. Okay. Gets out. That works. Okay. Okay, that works. I was like, is this going to work? Is any of this going to work? It'll work. So if we then take the MPV in the center and come down a little bit, like if we take, because we don't really need, that camera doesn't need to be there anymore. I could move this camera to over here. Actually place it in the actual scene. Don't like to roll. You are dramatically wide here. All right. Next thing we're going to do is go into this camera and change its width, focal length. About there. And then we'll just put some dude here, because I'm going to have to redraw him anyway. Okay, see you in a minute. Yeah, the light's starting to come out. Alrighty, let's get some of these poses in here figured out. Like some of these might work for these, and we'll just have to make some minor adjustments. It's usually what I do is I try to find one that's close, and I just make minor adjustments for it. Right? Except that, holy cow, they always put these people with like wearing high heels. And my characters never wear high heels. Everybody has like these fetishes with high heels. And I'm like, ugh. Nobody likes high heels. I mean, I guess people like high heels, but still. I have to remember that this panel is going to be wide and short. So whatever we do here, we've got to make sure we've got enough room to put with the information that needs to be put in here. But not so much room that it makes it difficult for us to see what's going on. Right? Like we got to make sure that this guy's coming in clearly so you can see him clearly around things. We want to see the kittiwake in the background. We want the destroyer sort of in here. We need this work being, and then that would be good. So now we're going to take perspective, close on her. I like the fact that I'm using Mayrel to guide Mayrel in. That's funnier than it needs to be. No, we're doing the thing. I swear, I keep talking to this problem has been here since the days of Poser in the 90s. And I still don't know why it's still here in Dad's studio. But every so often, you'll hit some point where two of the translation tools are identical. You know, it goes this way, or this way, right? Except then all of a sudden it goes this way, and then this way, and this way. And that's all you've got is those two. And two of them are identical. And I've complained about it, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's called burble blop beeple booping," and all 3D programs do that, except that they don't. And I've never had other 3D programs do the same thing, where you get the two different version or two different widgets go the same way. Especially since I can still change this with the manual widgets on screen, which that doesn't make any sense. If it was truly some kind of problem, I could see that, but it's not. It's clearly not. It's not a problem on the on-screen widget. It's so weird. All right, let's take a look at this and see what it looks like. I'm going to stand up for a minute. Oh. Boy, I messed up my back pretty bad. I think I did my back number. The only real way to check to see whether these things look right or not is to actually go ahead and import them. So I will do that. And maybe I do want the star fields, but I want a different star field. So right now. Right, now we can bring it down in size. what we're looking at here. That's not bad. That looks pretty aligned to me. That's good. All right. I'm going to go get more coffee. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Apparently, there's excitement going on outside. Excitement. Because there's a tow truck out there. What's the tow truck doing? So we had to go find out what the tow truck was doing. All right. Oh, good. I had coffee. Now I have coffee. Coffee is good. No, they're not. They were actually the car that they're towing has his hazards on. So I think he just broke down. It's not like they're towing a car that's been parked here, but I'm like pouring my coffee and I'm hearing clang, 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 and I'm like, the heck is going on? Shared resources, textures, star fields. We're looking not at the wall. So that's this star field. I need to make new star fields. There's a lot of things. It's like, I need to do new this, new that. Because these star fields, like I had said before, we'd had this discussion before, but the star fields that I made these star fields literally back in 1995, 96, 97, somewhere in there. And they've been traveling with me being star fields in the back of all of my comics since then. And they're wonderful star fields. They're great, but they're also like huge at the time. They were the biggest star fields I could make, but they're like 1080 by 1080. And so now they're a little low res. I find that to be, remarkably entertaining and somewhat disturbing. So, it's not urgent enough for me to do something about them at the moment. However, we are going to have to do something about them at some point here because they look blurry compared to the artwork next to them. They look blurry. Here it'll work because they're in the background and stuff. And so Can's here. Can has joined.
How are you this morning?
I'm better. My back is doing better. I'm not in as much pain as last night. Oh, God. Okay, we're going to do a border effect. Hey, that just is pretty much exactly what I was looking for right there. How you doing this morning?
It is cold.
It is cold.
And snowy.
So
I go to feed the animals, and the alpacas are all looking at me like, first of all, what are you doing out here so early? Second of all, why do you torment us like this?
Right.
And the chickens, I just hear them in the coop going, God, why? Yeah, I don't think they, like, I don't know what it is, but the guy on the news, this one completely, totally understates how big snowstorms are. He goes, we might get an inch, who knows? And then it's like 4 inches. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, maybe for you, we got dusted, so we've got an inch, and the roads are now clear. But boy, the kiddo didn't want to walk, and since he doesn't usually do I don't want to do it today, it's not his normal fare. I'm like, you know what? I'll take you, man. It's cool. And so I got out there, and it wasn't that cold, but man, my car was sliding all over the place. And I was like, whoa, okay, it's slippery. Like, it is really slippery. I
Yeah, the
come down the
roads.
hill
The
to the
roads.
stop sign, and I'm sitting there downshifting, and my ABS is going, and I'm like, I may slide through this intersection. Everybody else is just watching me. They're like, is he gonna make it? You gonna make it? Gonna make it? I finally stopped right at the stop sign, but all four wheels were locked up at that point. And I was like, well, it ain't gonna end well. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, that was brutal.
Yeah, I went up to grab the newspaper, and the road was in all three states at once. It was
Right?
frozen, slushy, and watery all at once.
Yakisoba.
Like,
I love yakisoba.
it's like that's a dangerous combo right there.
Because you're like, that's some of it's going to be black ice, some of it's going to be, oh yeah, that's brutal. Yep, not a fun thing to drive in. Excuse me. I'm allergic to snow.
I think we all are this morning.
Right? Like, nah, it's us. It's just us. A whole bunch of us. Alrighty. Yeah, we got to. Well, I mean, it depends. That's what we've been talking about. It snowed last night, started snowing, middle of the night ish, give or take. And now by this morning, we've got about an inch on the ground. But it's that kind of it's not sticking to the sidewalks. It's not really sticking to the streets. But this morning, it was glazed ice. And driving my kid to school was entertaining.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, I don't get to use my driving skills very often like I did this morning. Like, I have some mad driving skills. I'm not necessarily proud of the fact that I had to use them this morning. I was like, well, we're all going to die.
This
That's
is the
it.
thing. A thing is happening right now.
So I had a wonderful moment of imposter syndrome while I was at my sister's house.
Oh,
Yeah. One of my sister's best friends was there. And at some point, she was like, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I draw comics." And she's like, "Really? I love creative people. Tell me all about your comic, because I want to know what your creative process is and how you get to where you get to." And so I was explaining Bellatrix Rising a little bit, and it's kind of interesting. And then, And then all of a sudden she starts like quizzing me on all the things. Like she's like, how does your government work? And and how does do you have a parliament? How does it work? And all these things. And she like just ran down this entire thing. Tell me about your characters. What's your main character? What's she like? Da, 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 da. And I was like, and I'm answering all the questions. And she's like, this is fascinating. It's like all the pieces I really like in a science fiction story, and and stuff like that. And she's like, I'm totally going to read your book. And I just couldn't shake it in my head that it's like, nah, she's just being nice because she's my sister's best friend, and you don't want to be mean to your sisters, your best friend's brother. You don't want to mess with that, and it's like, so I just couldn't shake it. It was like, it's really. And then she she's like looking at the book and she's writing down the URL and all this stuff, and it's weird. It's just, but I really could not shake that she was legitimately interested in my comic. In my head, I was like, she's not really that interested. She's just being nice, Boy, imposter syndrome is brutal.
Yes, it is.
Because I mean, she spent like 3 or 4 hours, because we went to dinner, then afterwards we were cleaning out in the garage and stuff like that. She spent a lot of time quizzing me on story pieces and world building and all of this stuff. And and so it's like, and I just I wouldn't believe that she was genuinely interested. My brain just did not want to accept that. And it's just so weird. Imposter syndrome is so frustrating. It's like I could have enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Like, but no.
No, your brain has to tell you it's not real.
Right. No. I didn't blank anything out. I just in my head, it was solely because she was, my sister's bestie, and clearly she's just being nice, so that and so I just couldn't shake it. It was so weird. It's so aggravating. It's like, it doesn't need to be this difficult. I was, though, concerned because she's markedly more politically conservative than I am. And of course, the Unity is floofy, happy-go-lucky, frua sort of. It's a utopia. And so it's, it's a functioning meritocracy. And that was the thing she was like really interested in. She's like, how did you make your meritocracy work? So I was like, well, everybody's got a skill set, and the skill set ends up, you test for a skill set that changes the, you get these little, like, effectively like the fruit salad that the military wears, and that even the civilians have something similar that indicates their skills, and the more you have, the more you're valued for that skill. And she's like, that's actually really cool, and and she's going through this whole thing, and I was like, that's part of the reason why I was like, wait a minute, I know you and I have had discussions in the past where you're like, socialism isn't good and capitalism is awesome. Not in those words, but, like politically, I kind of know where you lie on this. So anytime I start talking about utopia, I'm always worried about people going, also true. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like, it's part of the, imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, Brent, I know that you are also politically more conservative than I am. And I know that, but in my head, I still do the same thing, which is, well, he's just humoring me. It's just so weird. Imposter syndrome is so bizarre. And I can't convince myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't convince myself that, and anything is like proof that Like when I was at Minicon, you know, I was right next to Raph, and Raph sold one more comic than I did. Ergo, my comic sucks. You know what I mean? Like, and that's such a stupid thing. Like you think about it from a like an external point of view, it's so weird. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. I appreciate you, Brent, for not, deciding to not be friends with me because of my politics. I'm just saying. Because I know I'm a goober. Yes. Most of what I'm trying to do is very much most of what I'm trying to do is make a statement that it can work. 90% of what I'm trying to do is to make a statement that it can work. Are we not working? Speaking of not working, are we on another? Where are we?
Huh?
It's totally. My pen's not working. There we go. Nope, still not working. Okay, you're identifying correctly. You not see it? What's going on here? What's going on here? Current pressure is 0. It means the pen's not working. I'll swap the other pen and see what happens. Sometimes they just
So,
add a juice. So, I'm still here. I'm just getting my other pen.
So
Yeah.
I just discovered the most hilarious one that has ever been made. And I want
the
one.
most it's ever body pillowed. There we go.
They made
Sorry, go ahead.
Pillow. They made a body pillow for the Dragon Slayer sword from Berserk.
Okay.
And I want one. Like, that to me is hilarious.
Right. I'm with that. In the car that I drive, huh? So you're judging me on my Volkswagen. I like my Jetta. To be fair, I really do like my Jetta.
Oh, I like that so much better.
Me too. I have no idea what we're talking about.
Original drawing?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I like that one better. Oh man, that made me mad. The new Beetle that was in like whatever 2010, that one was okay. That one was pretty decent. But then they went for now we're going to make it longer and more like a sedan. And I was like, what were you thinking? You had something where you could have worked on that and it would have worked fine. And then you had to go and mess it up. We're talking about
because they figured that people wanted sedans.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I don't get that. That doesn't even make sense to me. Because that Beetle was really classy and cool looking, and I liked it, you know. And I mean, I wouldn't have bought one, I don't think, but at least I understood it. Dang it.
Well, it's like them getting rid of the PT Cruiser.
Yeah, that one's another one that my buddy Kevin had a PT Cruiser until he wrecked it, and he still bemoans that because it was purple and it had a headlight out, so I kept going around going, it was the one-eyed, one-horn flying purple PT Cruiser. And it was also...
Why did my brain go to that exact thing? I just wasn't going to say it.
I said it, man. I keep saying it still. That was like the bestest. That PT Cruiser was pretty sweet, though. They're going to kill the Camaro.
Again? But that trick never works.
Right. They're after that Camaro, though.
Hey, Rock, watch me pull a bad idea out of my hat.
You know.
Lift up my sleeve and presto!
So... yeah, PT Cruiser wasn't the perfect cruiser, but it was still a good car. And the Charger is going to go electric, which I think that is probably the smartest move that Dodge has ever made. Because muscle cars should be electric in general, just because that's what you do with muscle cars. You don't get into a muscle car and drive across country. You know, they're not designed for comfort. They're designed to blow people's doors off, and electric cars just have so much torque. That makes total sense. And it's a Charger, which I think is particularly funny. Have an electric car Charger is funny in my book.
Yeah, but with the current gas prices, you rev that. The gasoline version, there's $20 right there.
The Fire Chicken. The Firebird has not been a good car since the 80s. And even in the 80s, it wasn't a good car. We just liked Kit. I mean, let's be realistic here. The 70s Firebird, though, was a Camaro with a different front clip. And you could still get it with a 350. And that was at least decent because you'd get it with a 350 Chevy. And that was at least a reasonable engine for that car. The Fire Chicken. I like the Fire Chicken, though. Unless you're talking about the Fiero, which definitely was a terrifying vehicle. I wanted a Fiero so bad when I was a kid, and then I didn't know anything about it, and now I'm like, wow, I dodged a bullet. It's so funny. You drive across country in a muscle car? I don't know, man. That is not the ideal thing. Super not comfortable. Sure looks strange to me. Yep. I'm like, why did it do that? Oh, that's weird.
This is a quote from the cast of Encanto, because everything Luisa does in this film, I was like, wow, that's my face. Another actress was like, yeah, they even captured my beauty mark. Yeah. Disney does not hold back. They don't play. They use every wrinkle.
Yeah. Encanto was a good show, though.
Yes, it
I
was.
like that. Encanto was pretty sweet. We really do have like a completely different way of doing things. It's kind of funny.
What's up?
I just like the way that we have totally different ways of doing this. Our drawings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it shows that, you can have your style and it be perfectly fine.
Uh huh.
And I'd like to think, over the year of drawing Brig, I finally kind of made her uniform.
Settled her down. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I'm discovering is the earlier one, her design was all over the place and it was annoying me. It was because she was still too new.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
I hadn't even figured out how I wanted the comic to look, because I'm bouncing between tonal shading and hatching and all this.
Yeah. There we go. I should probably add the little like lines that so he looks like he's traveling along too. Spacecraft moving around, doing things, that kind of stuff.
Also, I miss drawing her uniform. I want to get back to drawing it again. Like, it's funny with the dress, but after 2 issues, I'm tired of seeing the dress.
Right.
I want to see her back in her normal attire.
I get that. Come here. Double mark. a little bit of action that it's like kicking up dust or something. Like that makes total sense in an empty vacuum, you know, landing bay. There'd be dust naturally. But, you know, problem is it doesn't have a lot of action going for it.
Yeah, I'd put the dust in there.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of, you know, stuff going on or whatever. That's what I was like. I was like, well, it's not just that. I mean, like, this entire bay is decompressed. So it's kind of like, well. Yep. So maybe it's steam or something. But whatever it is, it needed to look like that. So, which actually, this page looks pretty decent. Pretty happy with this page. Yeah, it just picks up a ground effect or whatever. Who knows? Either way, I'm calling this page done. And that puts us with no need for any other pages. No? As external pages. There's still this scene, which looks weird now because it doesn't match. Because they're in a different place. They're in a different place.
We're all in a different place.
Just saying.
Oh, this feels so much better drawing with you again. Towards the end, I was going, Guy, you need to come back.
I'm glad to be home too. I miss drawing in general. I mean, like, oh man, I didn't do any work. Ugh. Oh, whatever. You know, like I didn't do any work.
I was actually worried that was going to affect you when you got back. That you would need a couple of days just to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. Worried about that too. That'd be new. Guy never works. I actually was gonna, though, say I really am grateful that this is the way we do things. Because, like, I am getting work done, jokes aside, and probably wouldn't have. I certainly wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for our little get togethers and stuff like that, I certainly wouldn't be at this point. Kind of wish I'd known some of these things when I was younger, because I'm like looking at this going, man, I could have gotten a whole bunch more done if I had known about body doubling and stuff like that when I was a kid.
There's a lot of things I wish I knew when I was younger.
Right? Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Don't do that. Whatever you're doing, don't do that. I'm just trying to clean
Uh-huh.
up my scene here, and I'm like, and it brought the blue line back, and I'm like, no. I don't need the blue line.
Stop!
Yeah,
No!
stop bringing the blue line back. I don't need it. This page is done. I'm just cleaning it up and making it look good, so it's ready to go. There we go. Clear. Clear. Gunk, gunk.
You know, the other thing this is allowing me to do is go back in and put in all of her scars that I kept forgetting to draw in.
Right? It's funny. You keep saying these things, and I'm like, this is totally the reason why I do what I do, because I forget all of that crap all the time. And then I get really mad at myself for it. You seem to be pretty okay with it. Like, you got to go back and fix it, but you don't get like irrationally upset about it like I do.
I can't afford to.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I have 32 pages to re-ink.
Rink. I'm just being weird.
Because I'm not willing to let these old drawings go, you know?
Right.
You know, why reinvent the wheel?
Absolutely. Not going to disagree with that. Hey, Sarge. Good to see you working. See you later. Sarge is doing the hi, I'm here, I'm bye. It's fine. Is it page 1? Or is it not? Let me totally guessing. It's not. So page 2. Oh, so I was kind enough to really not make this easy for me. Good job, me.
Yay!
I'm like,
You did it.
I did it. I made it hard for myself. I made this difficult. Isn't that nice? Okay. Let's go back and see if I can pull up an earlier version where it's maybe still separated out. And that's not even the right page. I don't even know. It's like a random page, guys. Ugh. Better. Now we can fix it. Pretty much just gonna be Brent and Maya for this one. Which is fine. What about you?
What's
What
going
that?
on?
Okay. I don't know. Brent was like, "What about me?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What about you?"
We love you, Brent.
Yeah. Yeah. Why stick it way at the bottom? I don't know why it does that. I mean, you're definitely in here, Brent. You even got top billing over my wife. Weird. All right. Now that was easy because I just take that and then say do not save that. But then I use this and it's exactly the same as the other one. Look at me doing the things.
There you go. All the things, all the time.
Draw all the things. Draw all the things. Okay, so the inside cover, this is leaving us just page 26, page 15, and the cover, the back cover. Also true. There. Ooh, I can do a line. You should do that. Like, now I can
I
do
like how out of context that. Ooh, I could do a line.
Yeah. Yeah, except that I'm actually kind of talking about alignment. Like none of these are aligned. That's funny. There we go. That's one of the cool new things um, about version 2 is alignment. So now
Yeah.
like, all of these guys are aligned straight down the center and they're aligned right to left. So useful. And you can really see it there. Yeah, they're good. It's a little harder once the background's in there because the background kind of makes it difficult. Please don't shoot me with that thing. Right? I mean, honestly, legitimately, if we start that though, I get this one. Right?
I needed it. This has been like the best $2 I have spent
Uh-huh.
on a Nerf gun.
Do you shoot your
Because
chicken with it?
I know it allows me to see where my finger falls on the trigger and the handle.
Oh, yeah. That
So
makes sense.
it has become my default drawing aid.
That's fair.
Because like when I drew this page, she got her pistol later on in the issue, because that's when she had the shield cracker that she used. So
Right.
the earlier pages didn't have her sidearm on them. And I was just gonna magical girl them on. That she just called out her pistol and it came. But I like the idea that it's more military. Like this is her sidearm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a part of that. I hadn't quite finalized her as a character.
Right. You're just gonna be mad until I do something about this, so might as well do this. Otherwise, you're just gonna sit there going, "No, I can't do it. It's too difficult. We can't stop. It's too dangerous."
Sir, you must stop. Why? You're on the wrong layer.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? Ah,
We need a new meme one with that scene. It's Helmet going, "We're on the wrong layer. I order you to stop." We're on the wrong layer. He goes, "We can't stop. It's too dangerous. I order you." Yes, we're not right in the head.
we're not. They've gone to plan. Did I put a border on the border? Doesn't she look so happy? She looks so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I hate you. I hate all of you. This is working to be one of my favorite Chang pictures. It's just like, I hate all of you people.
Every single one of you right now.
Yep. I shall kill you all when I wake up. Yeah.
Does she have short sleeves? You know what? I think I'm going to take those away. I think actually what I'm going to do. I want her to align more to that picture I did recently of her. That colored picture that I did where she was in the trousers.
Mm-hmm.
Because before her older design, she was in this like real funky pair of shorts. I actually think I prefer her in the more military style pants.
I agree with that. I don't think I like this halftone in the back. It's just too noisy. It's something else. We are over 11, but I'm not in any hurry to get out of here if you're not. I got work to do.
Not either.
I mean, I'll have to go get lunch in a minute here, but at least for right now, I'm still cool with just tootling along as we are.
The other nice thing about doing this in Vector is it's so much easier to change things.
Yeah.
Like, I have fallen so in love with Vector.
As cats predicted,
Yep.
they weren't wrong.
No, Vector has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest change is if I had Vector, a lot of this stuff in the earlier comics I probably wouldn't have done. Because I had an easier way of going back and erasing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that bottom panel flows a lot nicer now. So here's the original panel.
Hang on. I'm going to swap you. There we go. Okay.
And that's the new one.
Yep. I like that too. There we go. That's more grumpy. Probably should go in here and just make her lips a slightly darker color.
Yay!
Nope, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Sure. Yeah. Somebody's messaging me. Oh, nobody in conversations. You have just a second. Yes, give me 5. I know what that number is.
Do you have to go?
Yeah, I'll have to go here.
Okay, well, we can call it here.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, well, yeah, we'll call it, and then I'll roll out, and then we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, see you tonight.
Okay, see you later, guys. Thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.
Bye.